Tracy Thomas, 1925 Liliano. Good evening, Madam Mayor and council members. I just want to start by clarifying. There's always been 20 new homes proposed since November of '07, and there's 20 new homes being proposed today. We haven't dropped 2 houses. They haven't disappeared. They are still 20. They've taken away 2 out of the calculation of existing lots, but basically there's 20. So that hasn't changed, even though it was kind of sugar-coated a little differently earlier. I appreciate Councilman Kurt Zimmerman's suggestion of meeting. We'd absolutely entertain that, I think, from the community group. We feel we're getting closer. We know that an eventual settlement is inevitable. We understand that. We appreciate that. But I don't think this settlement plan is the right plan, the one that's being proposed to you tonight. There's too many gray areas. You know, even the civil engineer can't tell you really what they're going to do. So why should we approve an exception plan that doesn't really tell us what they're going to do? I say forget about the exceptions. Here's kind of the site plan, track plan that they want to do, and everything else is going to be up for approval once the individual lot owners come in for approval. Again, the whole point of a settlement agreement is to have both parties meet halfway, and based on the proposed plan, the compromise is being asked in is one-sided. The community is doing all the compromising. The proposed site plan, track plan, the lots are at 1/8 of the size of the minimums that are now required under the new HMZ. The home sizes are disproportionately large for the size of lots. I love the explanation. Really, where is there a 6,500 square foot home in Sierra Madre? I'm sure there are a couple, but now we're going to have 20 or close to it. I mean, it's crazy. That part is crazy. Anyway, the settlement, as for the settlement agreement, again, as I stated at previous meetings, I think it's a premature to be discussing settlement in its existing form, as the settlement agreement has very little specific information, no tree screen specifics, although that's kind of changed tonight, but no water. You know what? We still, thank goodness that it rains, because those trees are dying there, and maybe, again, that's the intent. I'm praying that that's not the intent, but what I've heard happen at one Carter, maybe that is the intent. You know, the water bills have gone down. That's a clear indication water's been shut off. Really? Or do we have... are they being honest? And I think that's the problem, is that I know Doran Platts was to blame on one Carter, but even on Stonehouse, 20, 22, no water, trees dying, I don't know. Who's being honest? Although the new property owners have made some changes, I'll acknowledge they've made changes to the settlement agreement, and we're glad to see it. We're moving in the right directions. Those changes should also include, again, the home sizes and heights to be determined by the new HMZ. One of the things I had discussed previously is no lots less than 25,000 square feet. Again, that's still a quarter of what the existing new HMZ is. No exceptions allowed. Limiting construction period for less than 7 years. Adopting a more strict policy on the management of the tree screening, which it sounds like we are doing. All the lots to remain in their natural condition, as suggested by Angie earlier, until they are to be developed. Open space, lot number 19, there's a problem. There's an open space. The whole idea, we went back and forth on negotiation of kind of agreeing to this open space, but what's happened is the lot 19th now blocks that open space to the hillside. So a house is going to go there, a fence around a pool, it's going to block it to the open space into the hillside, which defeats the whole purpose of the open space. I really think something needs to be done on lot number 19, and it sounds like you have slope issues on 19 with the debris basin anyway, so something should be looked at further with that lot. I was told to trust our city to make the right decision. I am. I'm hoping the city council is listening to what the community overwhelmingly has told them what they want. We've seen what happens when track maps are agreed to without full consideration. One Carter will always be the black eye, and the city will never be able to overcome that. Let's learn from this history and not make another mistake by rushing into any decision on Stonehouse. thank you again for your time. Just a couple of clarifications. 3.2, which is, Sandy, if you could clarify that, which has to do with going away from the lawsuits. If we sign the settlement agreement, are we going away from the lawsuits, even if we decide later down the line that we can't agree? That I'm not clear on. The watering, again, I really want an answer on what's going to be done. Again, thank goodness it's raining, because it's at least those poor trees are getting some water. And that's it. Thank you for your time.